All right, so today, second graders, we've been talking a lot about classroom rules, and we had an assembly this morning to talk more about our school rules. And so what I really wanted us to do today is to help out not only new students who have come to us recently, but other new students who might be in second grade. We are going to make our classroom rules, we're going to make that into a Google slide. And so, I'm glad you're excited, Lacey. One thing that we're going to do today is we're going to brainstorm what it looks like, what it might sound like, what it looks like in different places. So what does it look like to follow directions quickly in the cafeteria? What does it look like to follow directions quickly in the hallway? What does it look like to follow directions quickly in our classroom? Lots of different places.
Library.
Same thing for each one. What does it look like to make smart choices in the library? What does it look like to make smart choices in at the assembly? That's a good point. So I want you to think for a second, and I'm going to give you some examples to think about, and then I'm going to have you turn and talk. First one, rule number 1, follow directions
quickly. Rule number 2.
Just let's do number 1 first. Oh, we're going to do number 1 first, okay? I know you guys know them all very well by now. But we're going to think of rule number 1. I want you to think of one place in our school, Lacey, where you can follow directions quickly. What would it look like? What would it sound like? And when I say teach, you're going to turn to the person next to you and you're going to share what it would look like or sound like to follow directions quickly. Ready? Teach.
Okay. In the classroom. In the classroom. In the gym. In the classroom. Computer lab. Oh, computer lab. Library. Assembly. Playroom. Different rooms. Yes, different rooms. Now. In the hallway. In the hallway. In the room. Okay. So in your spot. In your brain.
Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
Hands and eyes. Who wants to share one place, what it looks like or sounds like, to follow directions quickly? Sky.
In the lunchroom, pick up your tray and walk, and it's time to go.
Yeah, Cody and I and Amelia were talking about that same thing too. What it would look like in the lunchroom. You got to follow directions quickly, and he said you even got to get eating. Like when you get to your spot, you got to eat because you only have a certain amount of time. Beckett.
At assembly. Or at his assembly.
At an assembly, what would it look like to follow directions quickly?
To have your eyes on the speaker.
To
at
have
all
your
times.
eyes on the speaker. That's following directions because a lot of times when Mr. Russell is there, he asks you to face forward. Yeah.
In the hallway, you don't run, you walk, and you be at a level 0 because other people are there. And they might have their doors open.
Yep. So in the hallway, following directions quickly would be to right away get in that 4S line. So, what I'd like you to do next, class.
Yes.
Think about rule number 2. What does it look like to raise your hand for
Permission to speak.
Okay, so what's a time in our day when you have to follow that rule? Think of an example. When you have it, give me sparkles. When you have an idea of when you follow rule number 2, give me sparkles.
Oh.
Oh, just sparkles.
That's funny.
Oh. All right, raise your hand if you want to share it. When do you have to raise your hand for permission to speak? Eleanor.
At story time, when the kid can still read her book.
Yep, so when you have a comment of a story when either I'm reading or Miss Gary's reading, raising your hand is a great way to ask permission to speak because it allows everyone to share their ideas. Beckett?
Right now.
Right now, you're doing it exactly. You're doing it right now. Javon.
At a writer's workshop.
At writer's workshop, when you have an idea or a question, raising your hand. All right, Think of rule number 3. Raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Who has an example? So many examples. Javon. When you have to go to the bathroom. And what's our signal when we have to go to the bathroom? This is new, Polly. We do this. It's a special type of raising our hand. That way we don't have to use... That way we don't have to use our words, and it's super quick, and sometimes I'll just go like this.
At my old school, we did.
All right, Beckett. Raise your hand to leave your seat.
Yes.
What's another time you might have to leave your seat?
Cafeteria?
The cafeteria. When you need something, a napkin, you raise it so Miss Bostine can make sure that spilled milk, get those problems solved. All right, hands down. Rule number
4. Make smart choices.
Make smart choices. All right. When's a time? What does it look like or sound like to make smart choices at school? Lila?
Look at your math test.
Okay, so when you're really trying hard, your eyes should be on that math test. You're focusing your attention. That's making a smart choice.
I got it.
Lacey?
Reading.
Tell me more. What's a smart choice during reading?
Really do reading. Like, don't fake read.
Okay, so it's kind of the same thing what Lila was saying. Your eyes are on the book. You're actually reading. That's making a smart choice. Beckett?
Right now.
Oh, right now when you're sitting on the carpet respectfully, that's making a smart choice.
Every day.
Every day, what does it look like? Example.
When the teacher's talking, you listen and you look at the teacher at the speaker.
I can tell that a lot of you are focusing your attention right now.
Not looking at the ceiling, not looking out there at scout.
Awesome. All right, hands down. Last one, but not least. Last but not least, rule number 5.
Keep your dear teacher happy.
Now that's following all the rules. When I say teach this time, you're going to turn and give an example of following all the rules at once. Ready? Teach. Javon, give an example rather than saying right now.
Writing. Why would I say that? You said
Hey, class. Hands and eyes. All right, so you guys came up with some great ideas, and I'm really excited. What we're going to do first, you and your table group are going to brainstorm examples of each rule, just like we've done right now. You're going to do that on a plain piece of paper. Okay? You're going to brainstorm on a plain piece of paper some examples, what it might look like, what it might sound like, something that you're going to put on eventually, Javon, you're going to put on your Google slide. Hands down for right now, thank you. So, you're going to brainstorm together today. I am going to show you our Google slideshow is on our classroom, and we've got logged into our classroom before break, but I can help you get logged in today too. You're just going to go to classroom.google.com. Your first assignment at the top of the page is this slideshow. When you click on this link, you can edit it. Now, you're not going to go to the slideshow. You're not going to go to the slideshow until you finish your brainstorming sheet, okay? You're going to do that first. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to assign table groups to a specific class rule. Your job, go ahead. Your job is to brainstorm ideas, show it to me, and then I'll help you get onto Google Classroom. Capiche? Questions before we get started? Brody? You can use markers. This is just a brainstorming sheet because eventually you're going to have a blank sheet. So if your rule is rule 1, you're going to add text and images into this slide, which you've done before.
Yes, image.
And then I'm going to share it with the rest of the school because a lot of the school has the same classroom rules that we have. And so this is something that they can share with their new students.
My class does.
This is something they can do as a reminder since we're coming back from break. So you guys are really going to help out a lot of students in our class. Have a seat and I'll call you over my table when Chloe gets back. Any other questions? I'll help you, Peyton. Okay? So if you are with Beckett and Sky, you're going to do rule number 1. What's rule number 1?
Follow directions quickly.
I'll give you each a sheet, and then you can work.
You're on. You're on camera.
I thought they were coming to me, so I got
You're fine.
You're on YouTube. You guys
sorry.
are on YouTube.
If you are on Audrey and Brantley's table, you guys are going to be doing rule 2.
I'm gonna do
Raise your hand for permission to speak. If you are at Amelia's table, you're going to be doing rule 3. Raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. All right. If you are at Kennedy's table, can you turn up your voice, please? You're going to be doing rule 4.
I know what tomorrow.